care for music, do ya? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, a baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Un soldato a casa regresó y un niño enfermo se curó. No atrapa en bosque de la lluvia. Un desamparado se salvó por causa de una buena acción y un área y puro. Aleluya, aleluya, aleluya,
I lift my voice to God above, who only shines eternal love. And life was hard before I really knew ya. You hear me cry out in the night. You turn my darkness into light, till every breath becomes a hallelujah.
I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope, I stand for you.
I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope, I stand for you.
You know our world is in great pain. She needs our loving care again. But there are those who fail to see what we have done and what we need.
There is a cost for every act, and now there is no turning back. We burn a bridge, we bang a drum. It's time to rise, the time has come to stand for love,
to stand for peace, to stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true, to stand for hope, to stand for you. If you're thinking it's not urgent, that we've got more time to kill, if I'm not the one who'll change things, then for heaven's sake, who will? So I will move and I will climb that mountain one step at a time. I won't be swayed, I will not stop until we've made it to the top, where we will stand for love and peace. We'll stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. We'll stand for hope, we'll stand for you. What is beautiful and true. I stand for hope, I stand for you.
Come to the temple, bathe in the presence of love. Let go of the warring, lay down your sword. You've had enough. For I know you're weary, the battle has taken its toll. Illusion is shattering, the veil is rent. You're so come to the fire and lay down the shame of the past. The blaze purifying, revealing your gold at last. You hold the keys now, unlocking your shackles and chains. No longer a prisoner, you are now free and reclaimed. You're reclaimed. Surrender to my love. Trust that you're enough. Allow yourself to breathe and remember, 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 oh, remember, remember, remember who you are. So come to the mystery and give up the stories you know. The path now collapsing, leading us all back to one. No longer divided, fractals united in peace. And it's time to play now like children of love's destiny. Destiny. Surrender to my love. Trust that you're enough. Allow yourself to breathe and remember.
supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Hello, and welcome to the People of Diversity Sunday service. We are a multi-faith community, and we believe there are many paths to one divinity. So if you'd like to learn more about our carrying on and other endeavors, go to www.peopleofdiversity.org, and there'll be more announcements after the message.
The topic is vision. Last week we heard from Rabbi Pat Hickman, and Andrew Bentham Riley gave us a couple of videos. This week we'll hear from Grandfather Will Davis, our Native American representative, and he will be joined by the incomparable Donna Frost, who was just here visiting us on a monsoon Monday. Next week we hear from our Baha'i brother Dean Martineau, and Victor Morgado makes his triumphant return. More about that later. And we'll see you on the other side.
Hello, everybody. Greetings from Hendersonville. Donna Frost coming to you from my sunroom with a Christmas tree in the background. Why does she have a Christmas tree still up in January? 'Cause I do. I love it, and we leave it up till at least the end of January, early February, and then we take it down. But for now, it's up, and old man winter's knocking on our door. We have another round of snow coming. We had a big snow a few days ago, and it was cold, and then it warmed up and melted away, and we were in the 50s, and now it's going to be below freezing and snow coming. So welcome to Tennessee, where you get all four seasons in a day. About the truth. Anyhow, first of all, I want to thank Scott and Becky and Suzanne and everybody that was at the Unitarian Universalist Friendship Fellowship Church in Rockledge last month. I had a great time playing for y'all, and thank you for having me, and it was a great time. We had a whole lot of fun, and love that church. What a wonderful place to play a concert, and it was just a really special night. In fact, it was so special, we're going to do it all over again on Sunday, March 2nd. So if you missed it, circle your calendars, please, and come join us on March 2nd, and we'd love to see you there. And speaking of see, today's message is about vision. So as I'm putting together what I was going to play, I was thinking, what do I have? Because I like to stick with playing original music when we do these, and because I have a lot of songs that cover a lot of ground. And so vision, I thought, vision, how you see yourself, what you're doing, what's your vision, what's your plan, what's your goal. And so for me, as I'm getting older, like a lot of times when you have interviews and people say, where do you see yourself 25 years from now? Well, nobody asks me that anymore. Let's see, what would I be 25 years from now? 92? Yeah, right, okay. So that's not going to happen. But anyhow, but your priorities change as you get older. And, usually if you have a vision of something when you're younger, and then when you get older, your priorities change. And I know I went from chasing the Music Row dream in my younger years to using my music for the greater good and to help others and encourage others, and to use my music to for outreach programs and organizations, and just to make a difference. And that's what I'm all about. So whenever I came to that point in life, we're standing at the crossroads, visualizing what we're going to be doing. So I wrote this with Jack Howell, and it's on the Beautiful Unseen album, which came out last year. And this first song is called Standing at the Crossroads. What? There we go. Everything is changing. I'll never be the same. Standing at the Crossroads. And the next song we're going to do for you is called The Love That Lives in Me. And the vision of how you hope others see you. How others see you is what the song is. Let me be a light in the darkness and the silver lining behind the cloud, and bring hope to the hopeless for as long as I'm allowed. We want to let others see the love that lives inside of us. And so here we go. This is my daily prayer. Let me be a light in the darkness, the silver lining inside the cloud. Let me bring hope to the hopeless for as long as I'm allowed. Let me show strength when my body's weary. Let me be bold even when I'm weak. The lust of love, let others see the love that lives in me. The love that lives in me. I can't change the world, but I can do my part. I share the gifts that I've been given, the ones that come from the heart, to show love and compassion to everyone I meet. It comes up with the word I say, the song that I sing. Sometimes you can't see good things when you're in so much pain. But if I can help somebody else, my life won't be in vain. Let me be a light in the darkness, a silver lining inside the cloud. Let me bring hope to the hopeless for as long as I'm allowed. Let me show strength when my body's weary. Let me be bold even when I'm weak. The lust of love, let others see the love that lives in me. The love that lives in me. I've had my troubles through the years, crippled by my demons and fears. But I dug deep, searched up, I stayed strong. It was a long, hard battle, but I won the fight. I found my purpose in this life. Now I truly feel like I belong. Sometimes you can't see good things when you're in so much pain. But if I can help somebody else, my life won't be in vain. Let me be a light in the darkness, a silver lining inside the cloud. Let me bring hope to the hopeless for as long as I'm allowed. Let me show strength when my body's weary. Let me be bold even when I'm weak. Lust of love, let others see the love that lives in me. The love that lives in me. Let others see the love that lives in me. Let others see beloved lives in you. Have a great day, and here's the service now. Here's your speaker for today, and we'll see you soon. I'll see you in March. Take care.
Hello, everybody. The subject for this time is vision, and I like that subject. I like talking about vision. It's in the native world, that's an important word. And sometimes we will spend a lifetime trying to get a vision. And I also think it's kind of funny because tomorrow I go to get my eye injections because I have macular degeneration. So in that sense, vision is also an important subject here today. But I want to talk about vision on all those levels. I want to talk about vision strictly on a physical level, and then on an emotional level, and then on a spiritual level. And maybe some of you are asking, well, how can it relate on an emotional level? And so maybe I'm going to start there with talking about the emotional level that can be connected with vision. Because you have to understand that most humans are very visual creatures. We perceive our environment most often and most acutely with our eyesight. And even attraction is mostly visual at first. And then we move to those deeper things. And so the emotional part of vision is, I know for me, sometimes I just here at my home, I'm walking around outside, and sometimes nature can be so beautiful that it brings tears to my eyes. And it's because of the vision that I have of just physically being able to see. But it also, sometimes in my meditations, I have this thing about trees, especially oak trees. And sometimes in my meditations, I endeavor to connect with the energy of that tree or that plant, and sometimes just the grass beneath me, because among the native people sometimes refer to grass as our grandmother Earth's hair. Kuchimakapahin would be the way to say that. And when we allow ourselves to connect with everything that's around us on that more emotional level, then our vision of what's around us, I think, becomes more clear. It becomes less clouded, because we're removing some of the blinders, some of the excuse me, some of the fog that is there sometimes because of everything else that's going on in us and around us and to us and about us. And sometimes I think we can get so caught up in that we lose our vision of everything else that's around us, the environment, including other people, places, and things. All those nouns in our lives. And I think for me, if I'm going to truly connect, then I have to connect there. And on that visual, emotional level with the greater environment, especially when it comes to people. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. There's a lot going on in the world, and there's a lot of suffering going on in the world. And I'm going to venture out here on a limb and say at least 90% of that is self-inflicted. And I think we should stop that. Stop doing that. You know, because in my culture, almost the same as in Buddhism, is that we are the authors mainly of our own suffering. Therefore, we also are responsible for our own salvation, for the relief of suffering. And the methodology is sometimes the same, is through compassion and mindfulness and loving kindness. And you're probably already everybody, is he getting off subject here? No. It's a matter of, I do take a circuitous route sometimes, okay? But it's a matter of, when I look at you, am I using my vision? Or am I just using my eyes? When I look at you, am I seeing the totality of you? And I know that some people will think, well, is that even possible? And maybe not, but it should not, or it might not want to be a barrier to the endeavor. Because for me, endeavor doesn't mean I've done something. It means I'm in the process of doing something. I'm endeavoring to be the best person I can possibly be. I'm endeavoring to represent my culture in the best way that I can, and I'm endeavoring to be the best Buddhist I can be. So it's a matter of perception. And of course, we associate perception with vision, don't we? And many times, I even posted on my social media page to don't be blind to the music around you, and don't be deaf to the beauty around you. Sometimes we need to learn to hear with our eyes and see with our ears. And when we do that, then I think we're allowing ourselves to have that vision of a clearer mechanism going on around us. It's like when I see people that I haven't seen for a while, and I've had people say this to me, they said, it's like you see us and your eyes get happy. And I'm like, yes, they do, because I'm seeing you. I have this vision of you that's real now. It's tangible, it's three-dimensional. It's not just in my mind. So on that level, the emotional aspect of vision, I think, is very, very important for accurate perception. Now, on a physical level, I think vision becomes important because, like I said earlier, that most people depend on their vision for most of their perception of their environment. When you ask people, if you had to lose one of your senses, which one would you most not want to lose? And everybody says their vision. And I don't disagree with that. Because as an artist and a writer, I depend on my vision. And I depend on all aspects of my vision. All those little rods and cones that float around in my eye that allows me to perceive color is important to me. Having clear vision, that's why I wear glasses when they work. It's like those subtle differences between light and dark. When you're walking through a forest, you get to see streams of sunshine, then patches of darkness. And to sometimes maybe notice the interplay between I can sit here in my living room right now and look out this big old giant window, and I get to see that whole panorama happening, that whole orchestra of movement between light and dark, and how the wind plays a role in that, and even the sound, the music of nature. And how beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? And maybe if you could just take just 5 minutes out of your day and just appreciate that. Appreciate the fact that you have vision, and appreciate the fact that you can perceive things from that perspective. Because there are some people who can't. There are people in the world who are blind by birth or circumstance, and so they don't have that source of perception. Although their other senses get pretty acute, and they can hear better, they can feel better, they can smell better. So in that sense, maybe it's not so much vision that is lost as it is just eyesight. The vision's still there, the vision can still be there. So it's a matter of taking that on and wearing that for a little while. Learn to appreciate that I have two eyes that work, regardless of whether I have to wear glasses or not. They still work. And that I can perceive all this wonderfulness around me. I think that's wonderful, and I think that's important to keep ourselves reminded of. On a spiritual level, maybe that's a little more complex, because when we're seeking a vision, most people, they want to see thunder and lightning and horses roaring out of the sky. And that's really not how it happens, at least not for me. Among my people in the language that I'm the most familiar with, the native language, we have the phrase hamblecha. And hamblecha is also what we call the vision quest, where you go out somewhere alone for 4 days without food or water, and you pray for a vision. Actually, hamblecha literally means crying for a dream. The word hamble means dream, and cha means to cry, to shed tears. So hamblecha is crying for a dream. And of course, in a lot of native cultures, the dream time is just as important as what we perceive as real time. So a lot of times a vision is not only reflective, but it's internal. Because sometimes people say, well, have you been on a vision quest? And I said, yes, several times. Did you have a vision? I'm going, yes. Well, tell me about it. No. And they go, why not? And I'm going, well, sometimes a vision is very personal to that person. And it's a way that the above beings, the Creator, has of guiding you through your life. Should the vision that I'm given involve others, then of course I would talk about it. It would serve no purpose to keep it to myself if it was supposed to benefit others. And sometimes I do. I mean, I've been on Vision Quest 4 times. And the first time was, I think my vision was the fact that I was disappointed that nothing seemed to happen. The second time was kind of dramatic. Something did happen, and it happened in a very dramatic way. My third one was epic. I had thought one time about selling the story to Cecil B. DeMille. And then my fourth time was almost like a closure type thing, because you're only required to do 4. And I think to go beyond that then becomes a little bit of an ego thing. Also, and this may be the first time I'm talking about this, I can't remember. I have the world's best memory, it just doesn't last very long. In 1972, I was dead, clinically dead for more than 10 minutes, and I experienced a near-death experience, an NDE. And I hate using that term because it sounds so clinical, but that's what happened. And what I experienced during that experience was so incredible that I find it almost impossible to talk about. But that is a vision. I was given a vision. And when I was sent back to the physical plane, I was sent back with a message. And I'm in the process of writing a book. It seems like I've been in this process for a really long time. And actually, Becky is helping me with that. But if you really want to know, if you go to my Facebook page, everything I post on there that's serious and very long, people say, does it have to be so long? We don't want to read that much. I said, then don't. Then you will know or get some idea about what the message is. It's like today I posted something about loving. And, you know, vision and loving. Do you see how those two go together? It's like, let's talk about romantic love for a minute. When I fall in love with someone, part of that process, for me anyway, is that I have a vision of how I would like things to go, and what I'm willing to compromise and participate in order to create that situation. And I've been so blessed that I was given that opportunity, you know, for over 20 years with my late husband. And then all of a sudden that had to end because he decided to die. And I was kind of angry about that for a little bit. Well, it's not like he decided to die, but he did die. It was an accident. He was killed in an accident. But that experience was the fulfillment of another vision that I had had when I was much younger. And so, and I think that a lot of times these things get cycled back through again. And that thought just occurred to me just a second. I was looking over at Scott and I'm going, this man has come in and out of my life several different times, starting when he was basically just a teenager. And somebody said, how long have you known Scott? And I said, since God was a corporal. You know, it's like a long time. And it's always a different kind of energy that pulls us back together. Like now it's the pod, the people of diversity, that has kind of pulled us back together again. And in my opinion, it's just my personal opinion, okay, that I don't get to spend as much time with them as I'd like to, and I am going to blame them. So I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm just blaming you. The other aspect of vision on that more spiritual level is that if you're a dreamer, and everybody in the world claims to be a lucid dreamer, but that's a really rare occasion. You know, maybe 1 out of every 10,000 people are lucid dreamers, or that you dream in color. No, most people do not dream in color. But when you remember the dream, you assign color to whatever it is that's going on around you. The only way to know for sure is to hook yourself up to an encephalogram and go through a sleep study, which the military did to me. And that's when they found out I was a lucid dreamer and that I also dreamed in color, because when you're perceiving color, your brain waves take on a whole different pattern. And when you're lucid dreaming, your brain waves take on a whole different pattern. Because lucid dreaming is you're a participant in the dream, not an observer. But when we recall dreams, sometimes we kind of mix that up. But when we allow ourselves to have that clear vision on a spiritual level, clear away some of the cloud. You know, I think sometimes people get spiritual cataracts. And so we need to go through a process of clearing those cataracts up so that our vision is a little more clear. I'm sorry, I got a little emotional there. I have such an investment in humanity being okay. I have this huge investment in people beginning to see, okay, have that vision that we really are all kind of the same. And paradoxically, I'm going to turn around and argue that point in just a minute, but we are the same. We're human beings. We are human beings. We are of that species. We're not the human race, we're the human species, okay? And that's the most basic thing that we share in common, is that we're human beings. And we're not all that different from each other. You know, when you take your laundry out to the laundry room, at that same moment, there's probably a woman in Africa taking her laundry down to the river. But your goal is the same. I go to Walmart and stalk the aisles of Walmart, you know, bringing home game and food and this, that, and the other. But there's an Aborigine in Australia who's bringing home a kangaroo to eat. The need and the outcome is the same. The methodology may be different, you know. I love my children. I would do anything for them. I would die for them. I think living for them is more important, but if it became necessary, I would die for them. But the woman in India feels the exact same way. Or the man in China, or the woman in Russia, or the man in Iran, or Saudi Arabia. We're not all that different. And if we could just come to the place where we could just, without ego, acknowledge that we all have this common vision. And that is that we want to be happy, we want to be healthy, and we want to be connected and involved. And it's really not that difficult. It's very easy, actually. Loving is so easy. It's all these other negative emotions like hate and bigotry and whatever. That just eats up your energy, but it eats your soul. It devours your soul. And why would you want to risk that? You know, when we see with clear vision, or when you go out and seek a vision, and you do that however you wish, whether you're praying to a power greater than you or whatever, pay attention. Something will come, something will happen. That if you're paying attention, you will see it and you will recognize it. I kind of promise you that. You know, and I would suggest that maybe the first couple of times you seek a vision, you do that without some kind of substance. One of our most famous holy men said one time that if you can't get a vision using your own juices, then you don't need one. Okay, I agree with him. But at the same time, after you've had some visions on your own, then if you want to use substances to do whatever they're supposed to do for you, then do that. But, you know, make sure that there's no fog, there's no nothing in the way. You know, remove the cataracts. And get to the point to where you consciously, purposely, and with intent connect to that greater energy out there. You can call it God, you can call it whatever you want to, I don't care. But as long as you can make that connection and feel that connection, use those emotional eyes too, use that emotional vision to feel that connection. Use the visual vision, the physical vision, to literally see. Sometimes in the sweat lodge, I probably shouldn't even be telling this, but I'm going to anyway. Sometimes in the sweat lodge, when those spirits come, you can see them. They're like little points of light that kind of move around in that lodge. Sometimes you can even feel them touch you. And that will happen if you're in a good way in there. If you're singing the right songs and you've put that together in the right way, it's been done for tens of thousands of years, then those spirits are going to come because you've asked them to come. Because we sang the spirit calling song. And those songs create a road, a pathway, so those spirits can come here and be with us. You know, it's kind of like a verbal vision that with our voice, with our vocal cords, we can create vision. We can create a visual aspect of something, you know. Just don't look like I did one time and try to describe the color red to somebody who had never seen it. You can't really do that. But it's fun to try, you know, it's fun to endeavor to do that. Because then you have to start relying on the mental aspect of vision. Yeah, I wasn't going to talk about that part, but maybe I will. You know, that the mental aspect of vision is how, like with the emotional and the spiritual and the physical, you know, all of that is also tied in with the mental aspect, whether it's how we interpret things, the language that we use, the ideas that we use as an artist. Maybe I'm going to paint one. All of that requires vision. You know? I mean, earlier when Scott first got here, I was talking about I'm getting some stuff ready to do some paper sculpture, some paperwork. And he says, do you visualize that, or does it just come to you? And I said, both. It just comes to me. I said, when I'm doing things like that, I always pray. I always smudge my material. And then when it's done, I smudge it again and ask that it goes to the right person, the person who might really need it or want it, or persons. Because once I'm finished with a piece of artwork, I detach from it so that it can leave if it needs to. And that's the Buddhist part of me, is that I detach from any emotional attachment to it. It took me a long time to learn how to do that. When I first started doing artwork, of course, in my mind, everything was a masterpiece. And I didn't want to sell my art. And my excuse for that is that, well, I don't want to prostitute my art. That wasn't it at all. It's that I didn't want to let go of it. I wanted to keep it. Maybe all of us could adjust our vision just a little bit to include that prismic aspect of life, so that we're seeing all the colors of the wheel, that we're seeing all the shapes and forms, and that we begin to appreciate the beauty of that. So I can promise you that when I look at you, when we meet, I see the beauty of you. Sometimes that's your physical beauty, sometimes that's your emotional beauty, sometimes that's your spiritual beauty, or all those things combined. Because then that creates this great big vision of beauty now, doesn't it? And never be afraid to just experience that. What's the worst thing that can happen? Okay. And I'm not real sure about that wasn't what I wanted to say at all. I am real sure that when we take the blinders off, raise the shades, whatever metaphor you want to use for clearer vision, that you will have clearer vision. Sometimes we get so caught up in the everyday grind, and I got to be here, I got to be there, I got to do this, I got to do that, I gotta. Stop. Just put on the brakes. Give yourself 5 minutes and breathe. Just breathe. You don't have to do anything else. Just breathe. Because that's the very basics of life. I mean, breathing is important, you know? It's kind of important to live, you know, to be able to breathe. So that's one of my recommendations, is to do that. And I know that on some of my videos, I would kind of challenge you guys to do things, but I don't do that anymore because I'm not sure that people really do that. But what I will ask you to do is just take 5 minutes. Just take 5 minutes and be willing to look around you with the clearest vision you know how to bring about. And it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter whether you feel you did or not, because then I'm going to ask you to do it again maybe the next day and see if things are a little bit clearer. And use the same thing. Like, I've got this tree right in front of my window here, and it's beautiful, and it's old, and it's hosting a whole bunch of other life forms too. And so I look out there and I see the beauty of it, and the way the bark is, and my skin's beginning to look like that a little bit. And as time, you know, gravity is not your friend, and I can relate to that tree. I mean, that tree probably is about 300 years old to have gotten that big. And it's actually a water oak, and I have this thing about oak trees. So continue to open your eyes. Just open your eyes. I'm not even going to use the word to wake up or awaken or anything like that. Just open your eyes. Because if you open your eyes, you are awake. And if you open your eyes, you can't help but to see something. So whatever the first thing is that you see, close your eyes for like 10 seconds and then open them really fast, and then whatever you perceive first, stay there with it. Focus on it. Doesn't matter what it is. And then begin to look around it just a little bit. Don't stray more than a couple inches. And then keep expanding that out until you're perceiving a whole, like I'm looking across at my entertainment center, and I closed my eyes for a second, looking up, the first thing I saw was the floral arrangement. So I'm going, wow, I never noticed that right in the middle of that there's this yellow thing. I think they're flowers, but I never noticed that before. So it's like a matter of visual comparison. Okay, this is what I saw this time, but this is what I saw this time. And just see how that works. And maybe in time, we all will be able to perceive the entirety of things. So, just to recap a little bit, there's physical vision, there's emotional vision, and there's spiritual vision, and then I threw in mental vision at the very end there. Let's see if we can spend time with each one of those and then set about bringing them together. You know, braid this beautiful rope of vision. Take them all together and see what you get. You know, and if you want to, you can always get back in touch with me and let me know how it's going. I have a Facebook page. Becky and Scott know how to get in touch with me. And just share with me what maybe you see as vision. You know, share with me your ideas of that. I mean, the other speakers, I watch their videos, but that's just that one person or 10 people. And so maybe that's not enough. Maybe I need to hear from all of you on what your personal experience with vision is, whether it's just, man, my eyesight's getting really bad. That's fine. You know, I will listen. I will always listen. So thank you so much for being with me today and listening to me. I appreciate you. And I just want you to know that no matter what, I do love you.
Thank you, Donna. It was so great having you here, and I love watching your videos as well, but it's better having you here in person. Grandfather Will, we so appreciate your being with us and all of your wisdom, and we always go over and video Will, and every time it's just awesome just to sit and chat, and I just really enjoy his company. So thank you, sir. Philip, Lupo, and PL Theatrical, the tech team, we certainly appreciate all of you. Everything y'all do to keep this train rolling is great. So if you're out there in the world and you need any kind of services like this, either live or online, contact Philip and they will set you up. Past services are available on the People of Diversity Facebook group, Facebook page. We also have a People of Diversity YouTube channel, and that has a playlist function where you can search on topic or you can search on faith. So that's a really nice resource. You can also get notifications about our services on Sunday by joining the Facebook group, the Facebook page, or the YouTube, and you'll get a little ding. It tells you, oh, it's getting ready to start. Yeah, to remind you to tune in. We have a second broadcast on Sunday evenings at 5:45 on Facebook Live. So you can send somebody back to watch or watch it again yourself a second time. I always get a lot out of it when I get to do that. So it's
It will ding the second time too.
It'll ding the second time too. So all right, you're up.
We are doing live events on the first and last Monday of every month. Tomorrow night, we have David Roth. Whoop, 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 whoop. Now, we also just locked in Michaela Townsend, who is going to do a couple of songs before David, and she is also one of our musician contributors to the People of Diversity weekend services. So come out and check them out. It will be an amazing show. It's $20 a person. No one will be turned away. It's at the Unitarian Universalist Friendship Fellowship Hall in Rockledge. I'm only going to say it once because it took a lot.
Starts at 7 o'clock, 7 p.m., probably run till about 9. So, yeah.
Be there. It's going to be an amazing show. David
yeah.
is awesome. For many, many decades, David's music was a big part of how we put on our workshop, and his music was integrated into it in many different ways. So not only is he a powerful storyteller, guitar player, piano player, songwriter, world traveler, he's just an amazing guy. So come out and see him, and come out and hang out with us, and we'll have a great night. The following week, March 3rd,
February 3rd.
The following week, February 3rd, Becky will be doing her Connect with Your Spirit Animal workshop. Again, there's no charge for that, but we do throw the basket out, and whatever you want to throw in, throw in. This is an amazing workshop taught to her by her mentor, Pat Sellers, and I refer to her totem animals as her cousins who invade the chicken coop and our back patio and steal my coffee and then sit on the porch drinking it, looking at me like, what? Those are her cousins. Yes. So come and enjoy yourself with that as well. Our country this week is Vanuatu, which is a country of 80 islands in the southwestern Pacific, about 1,000 miles east of Australia. They have a whole bunch of ecological issues, including volcanoes, rising sea levels, overuse of natural resources. Let's hold the people, the land, the space, the water around them in our hearts, and pray for good decisions and choices by those in charge of those many, many, many islands. So, if we'll say this together, may peace prevail in Vanuatu. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail in me.
Thank you. All right. Next week, our Baha'i representative, Dean Martineau, and Victor Morgado. If you aren't familiar why we're so happy about Victor being with us, Victor was in an accident a fair number of weeks ago.
Before Christmas, yeah.
And was in the hospital for quite a while. And when we asked him if he wanted us to reschedule his music performance for us, he said nope.
Absolutely not. I'll be ready.
I'll be there. And so we are so excited and happy that Victor's mended so well and will be joining us. So tune in next week. If you would like to help support the pod, we would certainly appreciate that. Go to www.peopleofdiversity.org and make a contribution. It's a tax-deductible contribution, and at the end of the year you will get a letter. If you make a recurring contribution, even if it's $10 a month, that would be awesome. It's so helpful to be able to count on that income and know that it's coming.
It helps budget what we do, the choices that we make, and how we apply the energy that we're creating.
Right. So we certainly would appreciate that. www.peopleofdiversity.org. There's a donate button in the middle of the page. So thank you for that. And we're going to wrap up today with our energetic healing circle. So bring to your mind's eye any person, place, thing, situation that needs healing, needs a little extra love. Put them in the center of our circle. Join your energy with ours. And thank you so much for being here. And we will see you next time.
See you next week.
One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and just see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and just speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of